Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Chess, and today we will discuss about 2022 horror lore. So you know, uh, there is a lot of horror stories, right? That's been popping up in the internet, and we'll discuss about that. Um, Note that this will only be for 2020 start to mid. So it's basically the first half of 2022, right? I don't know if something's gonna happen towards the end of 2022 with other lore as well. But I don't know about that, right? But here we'll talk about the first half of the 22 basically, and there are two lords that pick my interest. The first one is the Mandela Catalog. Yep, you probably already know what that's about, right? And then the second is the Backroom Lore. So this one's also been very famous for a while now, and it's keep going, right? The great thing about these two is that their story, these two stories are still going and keep going, and I don't know when this will finally dim off or starts losing its popularity, right? But at least until now, until the first half of the 22, um they are still going, right? And we'll discuss all of these, right? The first one is the Mandela Catalog itself, or you may heard it as alternates, right? So basically, alternates are um, yeah, the alternate of uh, people on Earth or living creature, right? It doesn't actually have to be people as far as I know, because I think some of them can also mimic cat's voice at least, or even the whole cat itself. But I don't know about that, right? Maybe that's their limit, only for human. But I don't know, like their shape. I mean, so basically, these guys are aliens, I believe. At least that's what I believe. They came from a long time ago, and you know they're just basically copying humans, but they're not perfect, so you will see weirds on them, like they have very big head or very long hands, longer than their legs or stuff like that. um you know, but they can still mimic the voice of the human that they copy basically. So the story itself begins with two people, I think, two guys. Um, One of them inviting the other one to come to their house. This guy, I think it's Mark, I believe, and then someone else. I forgot his name. Well, I just remember Mark because it kind of reminds me of Markiplier, because Mark and his horror stuff and lore and stuff like that, right? But yeah, um, honestly forgot which one is which. Probably Mark is the owner of the house, and his friends he's inviting that's coming is not Mark, at least. I think maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. Anyway, the thing is that um he is inviting this person because wait, actually I kind of forgot. um I actually forgot the the story, but okay, so I think what's happened was there's a house that is empty, right? Um this guy said that his friend had to check on the house because um the owner of the house, probably they saw something, right, in the house or something like that, and they need their friend because maybe the friends are closer to stop by the house and check. And yeah, basically he told him to do that, and he did, right? And then he entered the house, and apparently there is nothing at first, right? There's nothing, and then they start seeing some things, like also there's like the camera CCTV footage that there is something moving, right? Like doors opening or closing and like that. And you know, eventually we got lost contact with this person, probably die here, right? And then I think it also visit this uh guy as well, in the house, like in his house right now. And it's quite crazy, or scary when um you being in the room, and then you suddenly heard someone from the door, right? You just stand there on your bed or something like that, just waiting for this person to finally open, right? But I think this person tried to shoot him, but um I think they failed or something. And it's either they want to shoot this alternate that's probably already taken the form of his friend or something. And they try to shoot either that or himself, but I don't know. But either way, he's dead, and it's later on found in the later episodes of Mandela Catalog. Basically, I think it's volume 3, I believe, volume 333 at least. That's following up that incident, and the cops that's following that also happen to be in the problem himself because of that. But yeah, so this is like alternate, right? This creature takes the voice uniquely, like as in general they can mimic the voice of whoever their copy. But I think the volume 3 said that they can also copy multiple people at one time. I'm not exactly sure about that, but at least what I know is that they can copy voice, right? So me sounds like this, then the alternate can also sound like this as well. But they have still their imperfection, because they cannot fully copy the shape of the human. But that's just I guess normal, right? Because they're technically alien, therefore they don't really uh, understand how uh, proportion in the on Earth works, right? Like having long arms is probably fine for them, but it looks weird for us, right? That's why it's their imperfection for that. Having long arm, or maybe wide eyes, very wide big eyes and stuff like that, or long legs as well, or being unproportional disproportionately very tall or something like that, right? And we can still distinguish that from regular person, right? But the sound is the same, they can copy that. And they are like sentient, I think they're sentient beings, and they will hurt people, I guess, also because again they try to get lots of people, right? Or copying them, right, by killing the original people and then copying into that. Actually, I will erase this because the picture becomes very unsettling for me, at least. But yeah, um that's basically it about the Mandela catalog. It's about alternate, um about how an alien question mark can copy into you, right? Can copy human basically, and mimic their sound and stuff like that. and apparently they can also be in electronic as well, like in TVs. Weirdly enough, they can appear in TV as well to communicate with people, I think, and just to scare them or something like that, or distracting them from their original alternate that's currently haunting them. You know what? It's actually quite scary for me to actually picture them or drawing them, because I don't know, it's just they're very unsettling, and I don't know, I feel uncomfortable to draw them basically. But yeah, that's Mandela catalog in short. And the next is the back room. This one is less scary, I would say, um, because it's not really the creature that makes it scary. It's more like the environment in general, right? Because the back room. So back room is basically a world or a realm where you can glitch from the real world and glitch into this space or world where it's just an empty room with lots of walls in it, at least in one level. So there's like multiple levels of this, and each level has different different features about it. And yeah, but generally, if you talk about back rooms, then you will see lots of walls and lots of random items like cabinets, chairs, um, I don't know, cupboard probably, or desk, like a huge desk or something like that, and just weird office stuff, weird equipments and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically backroom. So it all started with a guy, some guys making video, right? Um, Making videos, right? They're, just making random video, and then there's also people that's recording this, and then, they said that he need to go back a little bit, and then he tripped over and fell into the back rooms, right? And the back room is just empty space with yellow wall. Basically, I would just stick with my dark brown basically, and it just looks like a maze, right? With yellow wall, and I think also like dark yellow gray floor as well. And it's just like labyrinth, right? Or maze, I would say. You know And it's not really a closed maze, because sometimes you can get like a closed loop, where it's not really maze, because you can go around a certain section, right? And there's no limit to it. And you know I haven't actually read the whole subreddit for this, like the real lore, but apparently there's lots of levels on it. um you know like hundreds, not at least, or even thousand of level. If you manage to get into a door, and then it has like stairs or something, and you go to another area which will have a lots of different layouts as well. Like maybe this time it's only has lots of pillars or columns, um you know and not a maze. So you just have a room full of columns, and then that you can go around, right? And yeah, there's also another section with holes as well. If you fall into either of these, you will get taken to another level as well. And then there's also a level where you can go, kind of, there's like a doorway, big doorway, and when you go down and you go out, then it's just like an open world, right? Where you have streets, and then there's trees, and then there's house as well, right? And when you look up, it's actually like not really a closed building. It's like really open space, which is weird, right? And that's why this back rooms is interesting because of that, variance of that levels. And it's not only the environment, but there's also the creatures as well, like the party poppers. I think it's like floating creature. I don't know if they are alive or not, but they're floating at the ceiling and just traveling from one place to another place, right? And I don't know if they're sentient and violent towards human or not. I'm not sure about that. But there's also a thing that lots looks like mechanical creatures that will actually run after you. In the first video where the main person got chased by this and at the end got captured, um, but his camera fell and fell back to the real world. And yeah, that's just weird and interesting, right? um, there's just a lot of this. And apparently the lore is that this was apparently some kind of experiment from async, I think, where they try to find a room, a space within a space, right? And they conduct an experiment and make a doorway and stuff like that. And they like power these things up. And these doors basically then will face into a door that connects to the back room, and then you can go there through. Basically this becomes a portal or something like that. And when this starts, then that whole maze also got created as well. I don't know if the backroom exists even before that experiments. I don't know, maybe it's already existed and they just making contact with it, right, to that dimension or realm basically. But yeah, um and of course they put lots have lots of scientists that actually observe, or observers that go inside the portal and try to map things out, and experiment, right? And they found later that um the thing can change, the whole thing can shifts. And we can see how one of them actually got separated from the other because suddenly they disappear, right? But not this guy, and this guy got lost basically. And not only that, and then there's also like the holes, the pitfalls, I think, where one of them got fell inside and end up in the open space that I just mentioned previously, right? But yeah, so that's basically backrooms. And I don't know how, if you enter it not from the portal but by random glitch, if you enter that backrooms, I don't know how can you get out there. I believe there's a way to get out, right? Because if you get in, you don't just end up there. I believe there's also a way out, to make it more interesting, right? So that it's not stale. Uh, but I don't know how. Again, I haven't watched or read the whole theory about that, right? It's like an SCP basically. You can as well put this into SCP, but I don't think the community of the backroom will approve that. I don't think so, because this is like more like standalone, right? Standalone lore or series. But yeah, that's backrooms in short. They're two different things, right? And um, well, I hope there's no crossover between them because I like them as their own standalone. Like the alternates being the alternate itself and the backroom being the backroom itself. Like, I hope they don't do crossovers. Like, you went into backrooms and then you find lots of alternates, that's copying you or someone or something like that. I hope that's not the case, because that's just will be weird, right, and awkward, and um yeah, that's just kind of being forced, right? But yeah, I hope um they don't actually do that. I hope they don't. Yeah. um as for now, they're still going. I don't know if there will be lots of any other lore that will be introduced in the end of 2022. Probably not, I would say, because they will have to compete with this popularity, right? If you want to introduce something, then it will be difficult to match this lore, already existing lore, and it will be difficult. Maybe next year or something else, probably, I don't know, maybe, right? Um, all of those has been like, there's lots of games that surrounds that concept in itself, in a way, right? Like, there's already lots of games that applies that, like indie developers that use that, and they're all great, honestly, when I watch lots of YouTubers playing it. But yeah, I guess that will be it for today's discussion about 2022 horror lore since the start to mid 2022. But I believe it will be start to end of 2022, so we can say that 2022 in general, maybe, unless there's something bigger than that, that's also as popular as that towards the end, who knows, right? But yeah, until then, until that happen, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow with another discussion, and goodbye.